kind of get in front of the team, or did you have a message for the team? Was that individual? How did this last few days go as you try to rebound from this start?
Yeah, mostly individual and with the offense. I mean, and I think guys have handled it, as kind of things have cooled off. I think guys have come in and handled it really well. It's always a good test kind of when you come in Monday morning to go lift, and there's a good group of guys in there getting ready to get after it and getting ready to get their heads to move on. So.
Joe, have you ever started 0-4? Or is this new territory for you too?
I think it's new territory. I can't be certain with that. I know in 2015 we didn't win very many games, but I'm pretty sure this is new territory, yeah.
Joe, what is it about the urgency of these guys that we've seen on offense against the Bears, against the Jags? When you guys know something has to get done, you guys are able to put a big drive together.
I think it's tough. It's obviously you can look at it that way, but I think you also have to look at the rest of those games and see what we were doing and the fact that we were able to move the ball in a lot of those situations. We just weren't able to finish it off. I think we got a young group of guys, and I think overall we got a pretty talented group of guys. So, when you put something in front of them and you just let them play fast and do maybe what you would consider some simple stuff, some day one, day two things, guys just do it really fast and they know what they're doing, and and it makes a difference.
Joe, statistically in yardage and also completion percentage, you're on pace for one of your better seasons. What has been the difference with you this year and in this offense specifically that accounted for?
Well, once again, I mean, it's tough to look at strictly statistics when you're talking about a quarterback, and obviously you can look at it for certain things and all that, but obviously in this case we're 0-4. I mean, and it's just when you really evaluate how you're playing at a quarterback, you have to go back and watch each individual play and what exactly happened, what broke down, what caused this, what happened well. And listen, I think I've alluded to it. I think we've been doing a lot of good things on offense. I think I'm comfortable with a lot of the things that we're doing. I think we got a lot of good players that make a lot of things possible, and that all plays into it. But we have to somehow start converting that into some more consistent play overall.
So when you lose heartbreakers the way you have, how do you not let it affect the confidence of the team moving forward if you find yourself in that situation again?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's easy, and I think that there probably is a little bit of, I think at a time like this, your confidence probably isn't as high as it could be, and there's positives and negatives to that. I mean, it's hard to find positives in that. It'd be easier to find a positive in that if we had won a couple of these, and you could kind of see how it's testing us, and it's preparing us to play in games like this. Because, I mean, I think I've always said it. When we do, I think, being in the type of games that we've been in the last few weeks, in the first 4 weeks, when we do come out of this, you're going to look back on this time period and see how much character that it's built in this football team. Because late in the season and once the playoffs come around and you're playing nothing but good teams, you're not given any freebies. Nothing is very easy. You're always going to be in situations like we've been in the last 4 weeks where, hey, we come out hot. Oh, there's a little bit of a lull in the game. Hey, we're still only down 6 points. We got to win this football game. And for guys to be able to rally and mentally have the confidence to go out there and execute at a high level, when things don't feel like they're going our way, I think that's a huge testament about what kind of guys we have. And I think it's going to pay dividends, once we come out the other side and we do find ourselves in more games like this down the road. It'll help us in winning those.
How much more comfortable does Noah look with each passing game?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, I think the more we go along, the more we realize, the things that he does well. That's part of it. And obviously the other part of it is getting the ball in his hands, giving him some confidence and giving him, a bunch of different looks. Now he's seen 4 weeks of different defenses and different looks, and he can kind of bank those in his memory and know how to react to them the next time he sees them.
Joe, how much does it disrupt an offense's rhythm when you have to wait for halftime, then you have to wait for the other offense to a 10-minute drive before you get on the field?
That stuff happens every week, and and obviously, I'm sure it might have some effect, but in no way can you look at that and make excuses because of that. I mean, that happens, like I said, that happens every single week, and you got to be ready to answer the call no matter what the situation in the game is.
Having to prepare for that Charger defense twice late last year, now this year without Derwin James, are they doing a lot of things differently to account for his absence?
Well, it's tough. I mean, it's tough when you look at it in terms of a game plan, like as a quarterback, especially last year in Baltimore. When you're running this offense versus what we were running in Baltimore, the combination of what Lamar did along with that drop back passing game, I mean, they're two different styles of offense. So when you look at that, it's tough to really compare the two game plans against that defense. Overall, though, I mean, obviously they're missing a really good player, but they run their defense, and they have guys that are very sound in their assignments and do what they're supposed to do. So in terms of what they're doing defensively, they're still doing a lot of the same things.
Can you tell us about Joey Bosa?
Well, I mean, last year, getting to go against him or being on the sideline and getting to see him. I mean, I don't think I've ever played against Joey to this point. But he just seems like a really long, rangy type guy that can obviously be a force in the passing game. But like I said, I think he looks like he's got pretty long arms, and if you let him get on you, then he can disrupt things.
As someone who started at all other games as a rookie, what's the hardest thing about that for someone like Dalton?
Well, it's. I think when you go from college to the NFL, depending on the type of offense you've been in and the type of offense you are in, you're trying to digest so much of the game plan that, once you get into year 10, the game plan is what it is. You bank those things. You've done some of the things before. You absorb a game plan probably a little bit quicker the longer you've been in the league. You can devote a little bit more extra time to, the defense and the things that they're doing and mastering those kind of things. And when you're a rookie, you're so focused in usually on what you're doing, on offense, that it's tough to really get the whole picture of how we're completely doing it. I think he's doing an unbelievable job. I mean, he's nasty. When you turn on the film, just how nasty he is and stuff out there on the field and all that, it's unbelievable. And I think he's doing an awesome job mentally too. I mean, just being on top of the calls and making calls and adjusting to this. So I can't say enough good things about him.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.